So welcome to Sit for a Spell. This is our second episode. It's 2 weeks after the first episode, which we filmed. I kind of thought it might be neat to use this as sort of a video ritual diary as well. I'm happy to report that my spell was highly successful. The money fairy visited me. I'm very grateful. I'm not going to get into all the details about it, but it was good. So I'm happy to report that it did work out as I had intended. I think it's important to note when a spell works out, especially if it works out beyond what you expected in terms of success, it's important to offer gratitude to the divine as you see it. Now, what I chose to do is I blessed a fairly, $20 bill, right, in the name of the Lord and Lady, and asked that it bring their will and happiness into the world. And then Aaron gave it to somebody on the street who was, saying he was hungry and was in the process of actually being very angry. It's very funny, very angry at the divine because he was really hungry and he needed a break. So, that's my little story about that. So, my friend and covener purchased this for me as a gift. This is the Witch's Brew spell deck of 36 good spells for every day by Witchery. And I thought at the very least it would provide me with some interesting ideas for Sit for a Spell. I thought, what should I do today? And I drew a couple of cards. It showed me, and interestingly they're both related. They're about ending quarrels. Which is funny because there's been some personal drama going on around me that would be a good idea to bring some peace to. So I'm going to show you first a little charm that was detailed in the card to break a period of angry silence. And then I'm going to show you a little kitchen witchery later where I will go into the Covenstead's kitchen to do the magic instead of the temple room. So, now, the charm that I'm speaking of, she calls Breaking the Silence. Now, if you are getting the sudden silent treatment from a friend, you can use wind chimes to break them up. And how you do it, it's like to break the silence, right? To not break up the friendship. And what you do is you bless the chime through whatever method. Now I showed you the elemental enchantment method last time. This time I'm going to make a much more simplistic method. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to cleanse it of negative influences by turning it clockwise over fire, which will burn out any negativity that may be present. Then I'm going to turn it clockwise 3 times around the candles of the Lord and Lady. I need to get closer. To ask for their divine blessings on it. And then I'm going to breathe the breath of life into it. And then what you do is you jingle the chimes. And as you're doing so, you say a little rhyme, a rune, which is suited to the purpose. I'm going to use the one she suggests because I like it. Silence no more, will be as before, we'll laugh, talk and sing, good times this chime will bring. And because things are often done in threes and in witchcraft and they have more power that way, silence no more, will be as before, we'll laugh, talk, and sing. Good times this chime will bring. Silence no more, will be as before. We'll laugh, talk, and sing. Good times this chime will bring. By the power of 3 times 3, as I will, so mote it be. By the power of 3 times 3, as I will, so mote it be. By the power of 3 times 3, as I will, so mote it be. Then you wait at least 24 hours, and then you give your friend a call, or email or Facebook or whatever else. But chances are, before that 24 hours has passed, they'll call you. So in a few minutes, we'll move on into the kitchen and I'll show you the second spell. So we're going to do a little spot of kitchen witchery today. Now, what I have here is a Quarrel cure spell, which I got out of the Everyday Spell deck. I'll read you the text. It says, friends have their differences, but that should never stand in the way of continuing to grow together. Here's a recipe to keep your friendships quarrel free. So, we have an egg, 3 cherries. They were frozen, so they look a little gooey. I've been leaving them thaw. A pinch each of powdered clove and nutmeg. We have the powdered nutmeg here, but I'm going to have to grind up a couple of cloves. So, well, I'll do that in a minute, actually. Right. And then we need a slice of peach and 2 tablespoons of peach juice. So what I actually have here are a couple of half peaches out of a can, because peaches are not currently seasonal where I am. And this is the peach juice from the can. I'm actually going to grab a tablespoon. I didn't realize it was a tablespoon. There we go. And we're going to use that to provide the juice. Now it says, over a low flame, stir together the egg, 3 cherries, a pinch each of the powdered clove and nutmeg, add a slice of peach and 2 tablespoons of peach juice. I have my lovely cast iron cauldron, which is my pride and joy, which I have been heating on this burner for probably about 45 minutes. Any saucepan will work. It's quite alright. It's just that I happened to have the cauldron, and that's what I keep it for, is magical spell work in the kitchen witch. So this was apron great. This belongs to Mitch. So, alright. We're going to put everything together in the pot. And as we do, we're going to stir clockwise, and we're going to chant. It says, potion of peace as you bubble, end this strife and cure this trouble. When working in the kitchen, it may not always be possible to cast a formal circle or call the quarters or any of that sort of thing, because this is the working area of your house, right? So, but you should certainly visualize a circle around you and visualize the quarters and the protections to the best of your ability and your ritual working space. Keep in mind that even your everyday kitchen witchery tools are, at least for a moment, going to be sacred, so you should treat them with that kind of reverence. So to start with, I'm going to actually grind up my cloves. I'm going to use, since we only need a pinch each of the herbs in question, I'm going to use 2 of them to symbolize a partnership, a friendship coming together. I'm going to grind them in the mortar and pestle. When you're doing kitchen witchery, the direction you stir is important. If you stir clockwise, you're bringing things towards you, and if you stir counterclockwise, you're driving things away. So it's important to keep that in mind, even when you're doing things like mortar and pestle. Notice that I am doing this in a clockwise direction because I'm trying to bring peace, not drive away friendship, right? If you were trying to banish negative energy surrounding a friendship, you would do this counterclockwise instead. So now we have our ground cloves. They're not very well ground, but that's sufficient because we're releasing flavor. Put this over here because we're going to dump that in a minute. So we're going to start with our egg. Like any other form of baking, we have our egg. We're going to stir clockwise. Turn this heat down a little bit. Three cherries, which we're later going to extract because they're going to have the pits in them and whatnot, but maybe I'll take the pits out. 1, 2, 3. Always stirring clockwise. It's important. A pinch each of powdered clove. And powdered nutmeg. That's a little bit much, eh? Just, you know, a pinch, right? A lid of this is a start, neat. Stirring that clockwise. Add a slice of peach. I'm actually going to take one of these half peaches and I'm going to break it up into little pieces because I think that would be more effective to stir it in with. Remember that magic lends itself very well to substitutions because it's all about what you associate with the symbolism. However, the reason why I use cherries is because they're associated with the sweet things of life. It's why I did take a moment to take the pits out. And peaches are sacred to Kuan Yin and are associated with peace, happiness, and longevity. All good ideas when we're talking about making peace, right? There's our slice of peach. And now, 2 tablespoons of peach juice. We're going to stir it together. Now notice I'm also using my right hand and not my left, even though that's a little awkward. The reason why is because I'm right-handed and I project energy through my right hand. If you're left-handed, you may project energy through your left hand. However, traditionally you would still do it right hand to project and left hand to receive or banish. Now, I'm going to take my othame because I can actually use my othame for this since it actually is solid metal. And because it's my ritual tool, I'm using it to stir, to direct energy. And as I do, I chant 3 times, Potion of Peace as you bubble, end this strife and cure this trouble. Potion of Peace as you bubble, end this strife and cure this trouble. Potion of Peace as you bubble, end this strife and cure this trouble. I mean, just because I like it, by the power of 3 times 3, as I will, so mote it be. I drew a spirit invoking pentagram there. Now, when we eat the mixture, we'll visualize the good times to come. And I understand it tastes a bit like a sweet omelet rather than a friendship gone sour. We'll wait for this to finish cooking. It's probably going to look and taste a little odd compared to what we're used to. But let's hope it ends the quarrel. And that's it for this episode of Sit for a Spell. See you in 2 weeks.